Hi, welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, Wednesday, 20th of November of 2024. I'm Giovanni Benacourt, and this is a recording previous to the USA Open. All right, well, volatility spiked for financial markets yesterday amid a dangerous new escalation in the Russian-Ukraine conflict, which rattled investors as the prospect of nuclear war ticked higher, pushing many into the safety of the US dollar, bonds, and gold. Stocks took a dive yesterday, but by the afternoon, asset prices showed signs of recovery, with stocks climbing back into the green. Now, we also saw Bitcoin spike to an all-new time high of right around 94,000 and change, 94,120, and it's continuing to climb as we speak. Now, after a significantly disappointing week, the gold market appears to be stabilizing above $2,600 an ounce, and many banks are not ready to give up on the precious metal just yet. In fact, there is a strong bullish call of 3,000 by the end of the year. And the yellow metal is not the only one. Silver offers a unique blend of stability and growth potential as a tangible asset with significant safe haven appeal and growing use in industrial applications. Silver has a low correlation with equities and bonds, unlike traditional assets, making it an excellent diversification and risk reduction tool. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the markets and analyze what we can expect for today's market fluctuation, what we can speculate for today's market fluctuation, I shall say. All right, so we're seeing how the NASDAQ indeed is in the green so far. We saw that dip yesterday that went down towards the 50-day moving average, and it didn't really touched it, but it got really close to it. From there, it rebounded. So obviously that's where we're going to be setting our second level of support for today. And the first one is going to continue to be that 20-day moving average within the Bollinger Bands. So the consensus is up to the upside. Obviously, the momentum, let's see if we pick up. Obviously, at the end of the day after the closing bell, NVIDIA is going to be reporting. So we have to wait and see what will happen with NVIDIA. But 21,000 is a psychological round number that markets are looking to obviously come into play. Now, let's just be bullish with the assets, with stocks, with indices. So that's for the NASDAQ. Here we have the S&P 500. In this puppy, we obviously also looking at 6,000 as our level of resistance, our target. So let's use that 20-day moving average as our first level of support and that 50-day moving average as our second. I mean, we could also use yesterday's low to come in and use that as support. But the momentum is built up for the upside. So being long the equities, the index actually. So let's see Dow Jones yesterday did fluctuate lower below that 20-day moving average, but it quickly rebounded back up. It didn't close in the green like it spears, but we are seeing right now that we are in balance as with yesterday's market fluctuation. The real body of the candle is basically we are in the same the same size, but obviously this can imply momentum being picked up to the upside. The NVIDIA is listed in the Dow, so let's see what will happen later on today with that puppy. Let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is the one that we're gonna be seeing a lot of fluctuation of it. The 20-day moving average right now is actually below the market, so the market is fluctuating above that 20-day moving average. So let's raise our level of resistance to a 50-day moving average, right? And let's keep that. The second one as where it's at. As far as support goes, let's use yesterday's low as a level of support, probable level of support, and then let's use this. That's for too close for. Okay, now let's just leave that $67 for our second level of support for crude oil. Crude oil was it fell in contango yesterday in the futures markets, and that's where the futures contract is ahead of of the spot market. So the curve was for the futures contract. So that could also imply excess of stocks, of excess of inventory. So let's see if that puts a hinge on its momentum to the upside because of what's happening, because of the oil turmoil, geopolitical turmoil. I still think that we can be bullish on crude oil and continue to move higher. All right, so silver, right, $3. I called it on Monday. I placed that level. So we have already fluctuated above that first level of resistance. So we're gonna have to leave that $3 as our target, and I use $3.100. So let's continue being bullish with silver. Let's use yesterday's low, and let's leave that second level of support as where it's at, being bullish, buying silver. Then we have gold. All right, so gold is fluctuating right above that 50-day moving average. So now that puppy is going to become a nice dynamic level of support for gold, and our level of resistances. We could use initially that. I'm using basically the 20-day moving average as a proper level of resistance, our target. So let's see, 2650 is actually a number that jumps back at me from history, from previous fluctuations. So let's see if that will be our initial target for gold, and then continue to climb. Obviously, let's see. Silver. All right, silver is even though right now today has fluctuated to the downside. That 50-day moving average is applying that pressure on the market. It came towards it, and obviously we need to fluctuate above that. Yesterday we picked our head above that. So now, therefore, let's use yesterday's high as our first level of resistance, our first target, and that 20-day moving average within the Bollinger Bands as our level, a certain level of resistance. And as you can see, the bands are very, 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 very set apart. So volatility, even though the bands have a 2 standard deviation, that right there is showing up a whole lot more. So there's a lot of volatility in silver, meaning there's a lot of demand, a lot of interest in the metal. So stay long in the metal. Then we have copper, right? So the 200-day moving average is going to be our target for copper. So $4.10 for 100. In this case, about 1,000. Anyway, it's going to be our first level of support for copper. And then let's just use this level right here, which is like a double bottom for a second level of support. So let's just use that and be long. I am going to be long buying copper as well. Bitcoin, all right, but Bitcoin, what can I say? It speaks for itself. Stay long. Let's use that upper band for a second level of resistance, and 96,000 is the next target for it. So let's use that. 90,000 our first level of support, which is basically almost yesterday's low. And then that's too big. Oh, look at this. Let's use this right here, this level right around here as our second level of support, which is very tight. I know, but hey, Bitcoin is just moving higher and higher and higher, and 100,000 is right around the corner. Who's doubting it's not gonna get there? Then hey, on you. Then we have the currencies. All right, so since dollarism must be getting stronger, we are seeing pressure on the euro. So 105 is going to be our first target, our level of support, first level of support for the currency. And let's just use 104,500 as our second one, which I think this puppy is going to continue to move lower as the dollar index continues to increase in value or recuperate from a previous move to the downside. So then we have the pound, also kind of just indecisioning wise. And the pound, it did flip to the upside. Now it's turning into red. So let's just use that target of 126 off a probable level of support, and just keep those levels there. And the dollar index, as we spoke about it, a lot of asset, people are flocking into the safety of the US dollar. So we most likely will continue to see this, as long as there's more the rhetoric around that Russia-Ukraine deal. And I did read that the US and other two countries, like UK and France, I think it was, that they closed their embassies in Ukraine because of all of the scenarios. So as long as that's happening, we'll most likely will continue to see more fluctuation in the dollar index and gold as a safe haven asset. Have a great trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow.